south to visit our relatives on those single lane highways. It was the big basket of chicken, because you couldn't get out the car, basically. Once you got out of Chicago and started going
Jim
through
Crow was waiting for
through
you.
those little towns in Illinois, and your parents started whispering to you.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, be quiet. You know, just
Jim Crow was
watch out.
waiting around.
And then it's time to get some gas. Daddy, can I go to the bathroom? Can I go to the toilet? No, nobody get out of here. You know, guy coming in, what you want, boy?
To your father.
Get some, I want some gas, and they won't watch at that time people would watch the windows and check the oil and all that. They didn't do all that, and we in the car crying and looking and want to talk, and they turn around and tell you shut up, don't say a word because we don't know how to behave under this condition, and I don't know if my sister remembers that much about it because she was quite young, but because she more or less went through the I system where they had places that had to be federally, you had to follow the law, those rest stops and things, and there were like places like Stuckey's. I don't know if y'all remember those. Yeah, and that was the most wonderful place in the world. You could just stop at the Stuckey's and go to the bathroom and eat and do all kind of stuff like that, and there were a few gas stations like Standard Oil that would treat black people real great on those federal highways, okay? But before that, it was literally hell going down south and coming back. Now, of course, as a kid, you could take it, but I just wonder what my poor parents really went through trying to take their family to see our relatives, which we had the right to do, right? They were away from their mothers and father, our grandparents. So you wouldn't want to see your mother? You want to see your father?
You had to go through that.
So you had to go through that to get to those places, and then back here to Milwaukee, and really you wouldn't have any release until you got to Chicago, going and coming.
But now you know about some of this because I know we did that Eye in the Prize series with your kids, but when y'all were real little then. Maybe we better do that again this year.
So my point is that the eye system had some positive things, but that stuff that happened that's going straight through these cities, maybe that could have been.
It was right on the cusp of the civil rights movement.
Maybe there was another way of doing that. I don't know if it was all intentional, but we know what the results of it happens to be, So it kind of broke up some communities, and then people began to and other folks began to make money off this, because where did the people go that when the system came through, when they took their houses? Where did they go? They didn't go back down south. They went farther north. And what is the average working man, what is his greatest asset?
His land.
His home. If you're a homeowner, your greatest asset most likely is your home. So if you get an opportunity to sell it to me at double the price, you kind of made yourself a little change off your great asset. So these people were taking, were going a little farther north towards, at that time it would be,
Silver Spring?
No. That Silver Spring is too far.
Okay.
The first one is
Capitol.
not Capitol. After Center Street. What is it?
Locust and Burbank?
Locust was actually
North.
north. The farthest was one of the far north places for black people. Locust.
And you could go to Rufus King then, right?
You could go to Rufus King High School, and like Hopkins Elementary. Black kids didn't go to Hopkins Elementary or our avenue. They did not go to those schools. You went to 12th Street, and that's where you stopped.
Yeah.
Okay, so unless you were one of those handfuls that for some reason got across that little line. So Locust was the first, which was like driving out into space. Then people went to Burleigh.
Well,
And then finally
that
Capital
was at a
Drive.
time, that was at a time when we didn't have 2 cars for every apartment, you know what I mean? It wasn't that much automobile traffic yet in the 50s and 60s like it is today. I mean, there's 2 cars and people live in apartments.
Whatever it was, Center Street and Locust is like, that's
The
nowhere.
suburbs, you were in the suburbs.
And I'll tell you something else about the time, going back to that timeline, up to the 60s, say 64, when I graduated from high school. Well, I say 70 something, say 71, 72. Up to 20th Street, you get past 17th Street, that was in the black community going west.
Now, we were married in
Now,
1971.
and I'm talking about from like North Avenue. If you walk down North Avenue and you got up to around 17th Street, you could start like counting black people on like this, you know. See, so again, yeah, Evelyn's absolutely right. Like you see all these old cars around here now. When we were growing up in our block, there would be like 2 or 3 cars, right? And people had money to buy cars, but they use the buses and stuff like that.
Because we still do have a good metro system in our town.
Oh, and that's another issue that you might want to think about too. Say, was there problems growing up in the neighborhood? Well, yeah, it was great to go to be able to ride the bus when you wanted to. But I want you to know this: we were like almost out of high school when we got our first black bus driver. Now, what did that mean? That meant as good a kid as you wanted to be, that bus drivers would drive right past you, standing on the corner, waiting for the bus. That's right.
Pass you whenever they felt like it.
You go like,
Excuse me?
I see me, you know, and I'm talking about, I'm not talking about running to catch the bus. I'm talking about standing at the bus stop, waiting to get on the bus, right past you. You know, and it was like, and the questions they would ask you when you got on the bus, are you, and I guess people would do that, but it seemed kind of trite to me. How old are you, and this, that, and the other? You trying to get on for less fare, and this, that, and the other.
Because at 12, there was a different fee, you know.
And remember,
Adult.
if they would pass you up when you stand on the bus stop, what happens when you a little 14 or 15-year-old kid coming from the, I say not 14 because you probably get pretty angry, but say 11 or 12 like we were in junior high school, go over to Wells Street School for a music lesson, and you get to your stop and you go catch that cord and go pull it so that you could get off the bus, because that would tell the bus driver you want to get off at the next stop.
You don't like the subway.
Right. So and you go stand by the door and the bus keep going.
What?
You look and you go, and so, and of course you couldn't, this is a grown man driving the bus.
You were not going to talk to
Right,
the
you wasn't going to say, I want to get off the bus.
Like the kids now, where were you?
You put it again, you 2-3 blocks away from where you wanted to get off or whatever, But that's kind of humorous, but that was the way it was then,
If it was cold.
and I don't know if we paid that much attention to it, but we did that. So those are some things about growing up around here that on the whole it was pretty pleasant. Like I said, I think we kind of wormed through some of the cracks of the things that are happening now. People hadn't identified us yet, as a threat or whatever people are looking at the black community as. People had hopes and dreams and things like that. Again, there are no jobs like they used to have around here. That of course has to be another indication of why some things are going on in the city. If you can't take care of your family, I mean, what can you do, because I don't think, I actually don't recall, that's another recollection. I don't recall any man that was like a deacon at my church, a neighbor in my community. I never heard any kid at school saying that their father was unemployed. I mean, up until the time I graduated from high school. You know? So, okay. Well, everyone says that's enough.
The shepherd, well, it's 8 o'clock, and the shepherd is going